When you are an experienced entrepreneur, you know exactly what that means to start. You know exactly what it is to, get started, do it. But when you're not an entrepreneur, you have no idea what it actually means. What is it starting? Is it starting to think about it? Is it starting to design a business plan? Is it starting to have a prototype? Is it starting to think about it? Is it starting to have legal papers signed to have the company created? What is starting?
مایندست کارآفرینی یعنی اینکه همه کارهایی که اتفاق افتاده اشتباهه.
پیتزا فروشی زنجیره‌ای کارآفرینی نیست، کارخونه داشتن کارآفرینی نیست.
چالش استارتاپ‌ها به مرور زمان فرق کرده.
معمولا از اینجا شروع میشه که یه آدمی دوست داره که توی دنیا یه تغییر ایجاد بکنه، یعنی آرزوش اینه که یه روزی برگرده نگاه کنه ببینه که یک عادتی، یک مشکلی، یک روشی که داشته یک کاری انجام شده مثلا کمی فرق کرده، بهتر شده، لذت بخشتر شده.
ایده فقط حرفه، چون وقتی حرف ایده رو داری میزنی داری یه رویایی رو میگی که ممکنه بشه ممکنه نشه و هیچ کسی اینقدر علاف و بیکار و حول نیست که بخواد بدوه دنبال یه ایده‌ای که هنوز به هیچ جایی نرسیده.
یا همین سوالی که مثلا من 2 ساله دارم روی این ایده کار میکنم، یعنی من واقعا کسی بهم میگه من روی این ایده دارم کار میکنم میگم کو میگم فکر میکنم بهش، همونجا واقعا میگم موفق باشی خدا بزن مثلا بذار برم.
مثلا ایده جدید وجود نداره، همه دارن ایده‌ای که بوده قبلا رو به یه نحو دیگه دارن اجرا میکنن و یا اینکه ایده‌های خیلی متعددی در آن واحد داره شکل میگیره که تقریبا پر این ایده ها یکیه.
My name is Gilles Motin. I am the founder of the Cantillon. It's an institute for entrepreneurship that is based in France and in Europe. I'm here to discover the country. I'm here to explore the country, to test and to have a first contact with the entrepreneur ecosystem to see what we can do and what we can bring here. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to be schizophrenic. You have really to understand that you have to, at the same moment, keep the vision you want to build on the long run and think about what you have to do in the next 30 seconds to move toward the long-term vision. And people usually get confused in, I want that vision to happen as soon as possible, like tomorrow. It won't happen tomorrow. It will happen little by little by working step by step. I don't know if that's the case here, but in France and Europe, a lot of times they say, I want to create a business. Great, so what is your idea? Oh, no, I can't talk right now. 2 things about this. 1, ideas are not important. If you lack of ideas, you have to try harder. I can generate 1,000 ideas of business every day. This is not a problem. It's easy to find. Plus, not talking about the idea is the best way never to find a customer. If you never talk about what you want to do, nobody will just buy from you because they will not be aware of this. The execution is very important. So what is execution? Well, it's mostly work. It's really about working. The formula looks like this. You need one idea, a lot of work, thousands of hours of work. You can add some luck, and this is how you get success. This is how you reach the goal you want to have.
می‌خواستیم تعریف استارتاپ و آنترپرنورشیپ و کارآفرینی رو از زبان کسایی که خارج از ایران هستن بدونیم، ببینیم تعریفایی که
اونا دارن چیه در این زمینه؟ چالنجایی که اونا داشتن چیه؟
I was, for the country, I was really surprised. Surprised in the very, very good sense of the term. I was not coming with a lot of a priori. I was, this is one of the reasons why I came here to Iran, is to just to test those a priori and to feel what was happening in the country. And what I discovered is, really, really charming people. Actually, I would say normal people. It's really the same life, the same behaviors, everything is the same as I know in France.
و تعریفایی که از استارتاپ برنامه کردن، استارتاپ های ایدای خیلی جدید میارن، خیلی فانتزیه، خیلی سریع رشد میکنن به موفقیت، و در صورتی که خیلی کارهای عادی که ما داریم انجام میدیم تو بیزنس های خودمون میتونیم با دید استارتاپی اونا رو بهتر انجام بدیم و توسعهشون بدیم.
The topic I choose is about finding an idea that matches you, that matches why you're here, what you learn, what you know, what you love, what are your aspirations, and finding customers. I took those two topics for two reasons. The first one of yourself. It's because when you want to start a business, it's very, very tiring. It's very challenging. You have a lot of unknown going on. You don't have any safety net in terms of employment, in terms of revenues, so you have up and downs. And every day you have to wake up and still do it. And if you choose an opportunity, if you choose to build a business that is not really true to yourself, very, very soon you will just end up saying, no, not today, I just don't want to do it. And before you know it, it's the first day, the second day, the third day, and then your opportunity, your idea, your dream is just dead.
من فکر می‌کنم که اگه تو یه ولعی داری که ولعت این هستی که در یک کاری مثلا برای یه مخاطبی یه ولیوی خلق بکنی پول در بیاری، میشه استارتاپ. اگه از هر روش دیگری مثلا توی اینترنت زیاد خوندی راجبش یا در واقع توی جوش قرار گرفتی یا هر چیزی، باعث میشه که اون اصل داستانه رو نمیدونی دیگه.
شخصا نظرم اینطور نیست که آدم باید بشینه یه گوشه فکر کنه، حالا یه جرقه مثل تو فیلم‌ها مثلا تو ذهنش بخوره، یه لامپی بالا سرش روشن بشه بگه مثلا یورکا یافتم الان بره دنیا رو متحول کنه.
This is the order we think makes sense to build something, to start a business. To think about how to create a business hypothesis before going out. To make sure that you have a sense of why you are here, why you want to start a business, who you are, what do you know, what you want to do. Maybe you thought of it before, but I'm going to give you new ways of thinking and be challenged with this. To have something that really fits with you.
از روی ایده نمیشه فهمیدش که این خوبه یا نه، چون ایده اول راهه و بعد یه حالت میزه، هی بعد بری میخوری به دیوار، یه ذره چپ میکنیم میری جلو.
ما وقتی میخوایم بگیم راهکارهای قبلی رو ببریم زیر سوال، رو سولوشن هایی که وجود دارن رو ببریم زیر سوال، ولی باید بدونیم داریم میبریم زیر یک سوال.
اون ایده هست که شاید بهش انگیزه میده، یه وسیله میشه برای اینکه برسونتش به اون تصویره و به اون هدفه. برای همین ممکنه ایده عوض شه، ولی اون تصویره به نظرم هیچ وقت عوض نمیشه.
As an engineer, you think of the product as, I don't know, electronics, coding, something like this, or oil and gas process or something like this. You think about the product first. This is where you know you're good at. So you think about the best product possible that you want to work on, you develop it, and then when you think it's ready, that is perfect, then you start to go out. And what you realize after a number of hours and hours and hours of work, days and days and months, potentially years of work, you realize that it doesn't work. The customer doesn't want it. So what do I do now? Now the customer is stupid. They don't know what they want. This is what Ford say. This is normal. This is in France, in Europe, we have the same problem. As we are engineers and we think about the product and then after about the market.
مشتری کسیه که شما بهش یه ارزشی رو میدید.
رابطه بین نیاز و مشتری همیشه برقراره و این وسط اون چیزی که پل ارتباطی رو میسازه اون راه حلی هستش که کارآفرین واسش داره.
من وقتی میرم یه جایی میفروشم اولین سوالم اینه که من چطور میتونم کمکت کنم. من نمیگم من میتونم برات چه کاری بکنم، مثلا کاری ندارم که من میخوام چی کار کنم. من دارم میرم با یه شرکت صحبت میکنم، اون هزار تا مشکل داره و این طرف ممکنه مشتری من بشه، ولی این طرف نمیاد با من کار کنه، برای من داره با من کار کنه برای خودش.
I want to ask you, what is an entrepreneur?
Who is mad enough to think that you can change the world
The entrepreneur is the person that have some value for the society that create better than other people.
کارآفرینی یک روش زندگیه. یه کارآفرین برای این کار نمیکنه، کارش رو شروع نمیکنه، نوآوری نمیکنه، خلاقیتش رو میکنه برای که حتما مثلا تعداد زیادی رو به کار اشتغال بده.
کارآفرینا آدمایی هستن که دل باختن، یعنی چیز زیادی برای از دست دادن ندارن. مهم نیستش که چقدر پول دارن، ولی همیشه تو جسارتشون نوعی دلباختگی خاصی وجود داره که روی تمام تصمیم گیریاشون هم تأثیر میذاره.
For me, for us, at the Cantillon, we think that the entrepreneur is not the one who takes risks. He's the one who understands what risk is. So the role of the entrepreneur is not to take risks. The role of the entrepreneur is to understand where the risks are. And one of the biggest risks that you're facing is first among yourself, not to know who you are. Then it's about who are the customer, who are the people that you know that can buy your product. To be able to cope with this, you need love, you need passion. If you're too much passionate, you will forget that you have to make money at some point. If you're too much about making money and looking for disruption this or disrupt that, etc., and here's an opportunity, if you cannot filter it with what you love, you will just see opportunities everywhere, right? An entrepreneur is someone who sees opportunity everywhere, and the question is, which one should I follow? The answer is simple: follow the one you love. What do you think is a startup? The first definition of a startup, what a startup is that it's a company that is confused, that doesn't know exactly what does it sells, to whom, at what price. Any company, any business that starts at the beginning is a startup. Now you have different forms of how you want to build a startup or why you want to grow this startup, this company. And most of the time, in the blah, blah, blah and the jargon around, a startup is confused with this, the unicorn. Do you know what a unicorn is? This mythical animal that everybody is talking about but no one has actually seen. People invested in that company. They bought something because they believed in it, but the company just went bust in even months. This is the danger of unicorn. And the unicorn is not what you think it is. And this is what usually it's covered by as the definition of a startup. There is also other forms of startups that you have to consider. Safer, less risky in terms of success. You don't need investor. You are not looking for investor. You grow at the speed you can fuel because it's generated by the sales you make. The unicorn has no sale, has investors. It has a huge potential. If you succeed in making a unicorn, you get immensely rich, but you have a low chance of success. Here, you get somehow rich if you do it well, and it's yours. The other form is this one. We call it Mediocristan. How do you grow this kind of business? The cost, you increase the cost by a factor of 10%, you increase the sales by 10%. It's completely linear, which means that you have very low leverage. If you go for, some people would suggest that you can also, increase the prices to increase the revenues. Yeah, but the guys who are buying here, they're buying here because you have the lowest price in town. If you don't have the lowest price in town, they go elsewhere. So you lose your customers.
مثلا من بچگی دوست داشتم طلا فروشی داشته باشم مثال. الان شاید بتونم برم یه بیزینسی تو این حوزه بزنم. ولی شنیدم که طلا فروشی هم خوبه. پول توشه. مثلا همه طلا فروشا ماشین دارن، ویلا دارن. رو شنیده نباید رفت. منی که مثلا هیچ چیزی از مثلا خرید و فروش و اینا نمیدونم، نه خریدار خوبیم نه فروشنده خوبیم، حالا من بیام برم دیجیکالا بزنم.
یه مدتی برید یه جای کار کنید، یا توی شرکت بزرگ یا توی کوچیک، یا اصلا با چند تا استارتاپ کار کنید. برید توی استارتاپ کار کنید، اصلا ببینید چه جوری دارن کار میکنن.
من ایده که انتخاب کردم تو زمینه رویداد اینا بود، بخاطر اینکه خودم خیلی رویداد برگزار میکردم و تونستم باش ارتباط برقرار کنم.
This is what we call the innovation matrix here. You have two axes. You have the innovation upon the market. Are you targeting an existing market or are you targeting a new market? And the innovation that we all love about the product. Is it a product that is exactly the same as the competition or very, very small differences, or is it something that no one has done before? And the reason why we're using this matrix is because you have to understand where you are exactly and to understand what is the difference between innovation and entrepreneurship. In Iran, as in most of the advanced countries, there is a huge population of engineers. And frankly, even in MBAs or even in economic studies, we think about the product first. We think about execution, what we know to do, whatever the product or service, to be absolutely perfect. So we spend a lot of time building this product, building this service, building this thing that should be perfect before actually showing it out to someone outside. By fear of rejection, we want to that product to be absolutely perfect. This is good as an engineering point of view, because this is exactly what is asked to you. Is, when you build a plane, you expect the plane to fly. When you build a nuclear plant, you expect the nuclear plant not to explode. It has to be perfect. But when you're an entrepreneur, the difficulty is not to build the product. We know how to do this. The difficulty is to understand the customer and to find the customer. Here, with an existing product, an existing market, these are, I don't know, in France I say when you open a boulangerie, right? You know how to make a baguette, you know how to make bread, you know how to cut hairs. It's been known for centuries. It's so not risky, you have to buy a place. And so you just go to the bank, because you need money to buy the place. You go to the bank asks you, okay, do you know how to make bread? Yeah, here's my diploma. Do you know how to cut hair? Yes, here's my diploma. Great. What is your address? And with the address, I've got exactly the location. With the location, I know exactly how many people they're living in. And because I know how many people, and I also know how many bread they buy every day, I divide it by the number of competitors, and bam, boom, by the push of a button, I have your revenue planned for 5 years. When you are an experienced entrepreneur, you know exactly what that means to start. You know exactly what it is to, get started, do it. But when you're not an entrepreneur, you have no idea what it actually means. What is it starting? Is it starting to think about it? Is it starting to design a business plan? Is it starting to have a prototype? Is it starting to think about it? Is it starting to have legal papers signed to have the company created? What is starting? The answer is so clear, so easy. Starting is to start to meet with people, is start to go out and talk about what you want to do, to test it. Into changing this product existing the way it is, every time you go further this way, you take risks, you take chances that this is not going to work. In the end, you will have nothing to do really to go to full speed, except then being very excellent at what you're doing. So the next one is a new product on an existing market. This is WhatsApp. The market existing is phone and telecommunication, peer-to-peer communication. There was a lots of competition here. And there's a network effect here. It's called the habit. It's called the fact that also that when you use WhatsApp to join someone, to call someone, that person also must have the same application in store. If it doesn't work. So there is a huge challenge here to make sure that there is a huge volume going on. I believe that, in the future also there will be big corporates, and there will be also a lot of small companies that will bind together around something that has meaning, around an excellence, around just a few people or some people or more people that will just have an impact. I think that this is the future. We go to the next one, new product, new market. This is a dream of every engineer. This is a dream of innovation. I will be the first one to do something that no one ever done before for use that no one has ever spotted before. This is a suicide quadrant. This is where you will most likely end up dead. The example that we choose is a fax machine. When do you think the fax machine was invented? What do you think would happen to the guy? The guy died. Without making money, without his invention being actually remembered as being the first one to do it. This is what is called innovation. You want to be the first one to invent something that was not done before. The further you move that journey, the more risk you take.
یه دستگاهی ساخته شده که حالا اون قراره توی بازار بخواد به فروش برسه. یه مقدار وارد بازار کردنش نداشتیم دانششو.
چند تا ایده رو لانچ کردیم، موفق نبودیم. الان یه ایده جدیدی رو لانچ کردیم، تو 4-5 ماهش هست، ولی خب میخوایم ببینیم که مشکلاتی که ممکنه پیش روی ما بیاد و آیا برای کسی دیگه هم پیش اومده و سعی بکنیم اون معضلات رو زودتر جلوشو بگیریم که صدمات کمتری توی استارتاپ به ما بزنه.
قطعا همه چی ریسک داره، حتی کارمند بودن بیشتر ریسکش، منتها اینکه تو بخوای کارآفرینی بکنی و دیگه کارمند نباشی اینه که ریسکا رو بشناسی و بتونی کنترلشون کنی و این یه هنره که به نظرم به تجربه نیاز داره.
For you as an entrepreneur, until you find the market means revenues. Until you find it, you have no revenues. And I just remind you, you human, you have to eat. And eat costs money. And if you have no revenues, put it simply, you don't eat. Those guys, when they're super successful, it's never their first business. They always get one, then another one, then a third one, then a fourth and a fifth, and etc. And then they got, wow, immensely successful. And they're known all over the place. Because each time they make money and they know how to make it.
وقتی اون تجربه اولیه کارآفرینی رو پیدا میکنه و اون لذت رو در خودش میبینه، هیچ وقت این راه رو کنار نمیذاره. نه به سنش ربط داره، نه به میزان درآمدش ربط داره، نه به میزان پولش ربط داره، نه به میزان ثروت، نه به میزان اشتغال زایی که کرده. میخواد این کار رو دوباره انجام بده، چون از اون پروسه که همه اینا توشه واقعا لذت میبره و اون بهش انرژی میده و زندگیش رو، بخش مهمی از زندگیش رو تو اون مسئله میبینه. هر دوره زندگیشون به یه چیزی عاشق اون ایده، اون کار، اون موضوع میشن و تمام فکر رو زندگیشون میره تو اون.
شاید خودش یه ویژنی داره، یه آرزویی داره، یه هدفی داره که خیلی محکم میاد پای اون خواستش و آرزوش وای میسه و یه عالمه آدم دیگر رو هم درگیر میکنه برای اینکه برسه به اون چیزی که میخواد.
یه روزی وقتی برمیگردی به زندگی احساس بکنی یه تغییری تو دنیا ایجاد کردی، یه تغییری بیشتر از این که مثلا یه نفری که میاد توی دنیا و از میره و مثلا ازش صرفاً یک خانواده و مثلا چند تا بچه ازش بمونه.
You know when you receive a postcard from someone that tells you you really have an impact on me, you really have you really helped me. I was lost. I wanted to have a business, to create something, but here you were, and you helped us. Now we have something. Now we have a life. We have hope to it for the future. This is priceless. This is something very emotional. This is how I am. This is how I react. This is what impacts me.
یعنی همیشه باید دنبال یه چالنجی باشه. یعنی اگر مثلا شما بیکار بذاریش، پولم بهش بدی، بگه مثلا نه بیکاریه رو میخوام، نه پوله رو میخوام، من این چالنجی میخوام که صبح برم یه چالنجی داشته باشم، حلش بکنم، دوباره فردا برم یه چالنجی داشته باشم.
Well, first of all, I think if somebody is doing something that is useful to the rest of society, I think that's a good thing. Like, it doesn't have to change the world. Like, you know, if you're doing something that has high value to people, and frankly, even if it's something, if it's like just a little game, or you know, some improvement in photo sharing or something, if it has a small amount of good for a large number of people, I think that's fine. Like, stuff doesn't need to be changed the world just to be good.
Elon Musk started. He dropped out of college just after coming to the US from South Africa, and he dropped out of college to work on this company. The company he was working on was data compression for the financial markets. Data compression, zipping files. For the financial market, they needed a fast and easy way and secure way to transmit documents. They were already buying it. He started here. Then he sold his company for 100 million because he built a brilliant and excellent company. The execution was perfect. So he sold it for 100 million. And he said, okay, you know what? I know the financial market now, and there is one thing that does not exist. There is a new market called internet, and there is no financial system on the internet. I'm going to build a bank online. Okay, I'm going to buy something called PayPal that was doing something. It almost burned PayPal until it is what we know now, that is working. And then he sold PayPal for $1 billion to someone else. And he said, okay, I got $1 billion in my pocket. What do I do now? Oh, I'm going to go to an existing market where there's a lot of money. and I can change something, when I can disrupt something. Cars, Tesla cars, electric cars, with one thing in mind. The electric car, they had 65 kilometers, 60 kilometers of autonomy. And so I'm going to build a car that has 10 times this autonomy. Disruption, 10 times more. Now what is the guy doing? Got Tesla, he wants to go to Mars. New product, new market. What are the chances that he succeeds? What happens if he fails? He doesn't care. I remind you, he has $1 billion in a bank account here. So if you want to have a startup that goes into virtual reality with a new product, a new market, etc., make sure you have $1 billion in your bank account. Why do you want to start a business? Do you know Simon Sinek is one of the 10 most viewed video on TED? Really inspiring. What he says that usually what we talk about, the way we express what we want to do, we start with what, and then we say how we want to do, and why.
As it turns out, there's a pattern. As it turns out, all the great and inspiring leaders and organizations in the world, whether it's Apple or Martin Luther King or the Wright brothers, they all think, act, and communicate the exact same way, and it's the complete opposite to everyone else. All I did was codify it. And it's probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle. Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't.
You know, how many times you've talked about your project by starting by something like, yeah, it's an app, it's a platform. And how you do it, well, I need some computing, some engineers, and along the way you get lost because you don't say about the why. So what he says, what Simon Sinek is that you have to communicate exactly in the reverse. It's actually coming from the work, he doesn't know because he hasn't read it. As far as I know, or probably read it, it's coming from actually the work of a Nobel Prize called Daniel Kahneman, Nobel Prize 2002, Nobel Prize in behavioral economics. And basically what he says is that we have two brains, one reptilian brain that thinks fast, that use a lot, very little energy, that communicates with emotions, and that can make decisions. And we have a very, very slow brain that make reasoning, that use numbers, that use concepts, and use a lot of energy. So much energy actually that it drains up all, you cannot work when you're thinking about a very hard mathematical problem. You can not walk, you have to sit down because you do not have enough energy to make your brain function. And this is the domain of that energy sucker. And the why is actually where the decision I made, and they are made with emotion very quickly.
من همش دارم اون چیزی که دارم و سعی می‌کنم با اینجا کانکت بکنم. یه چند تا چیز خیلی خوبی که من الان اینجا بود، یکی اون که اصلا اون دایره طلایی بود که سه تا چیز داشت. وای اصلا تو برای چی می‌خوای این کارو انجام بدی؟ اصلا برای چیش اینه که من دلم می‌خواد که رفتار حرفه‌ای ارتقا پیدا کنه. چیزی که ما تو مملکتمون نداریم.
احساس کردم که خب حرفایی که امروز شنیدم خیلی بیشتر دارم تو محیط کار میبینم، بیشتر لمسش میکنم. احساس میکنم که خیلی به محیط بازار و کار نزدیکتر بود تا اینکه صرفا یه سری تئوریایی که ما تو کتاب مدیریت مثلا همیشه میخونیم.
My business is really the way I teach, the way I guide the entrepreneurs is really about people transformation. It's not really about, I don't know, business, economy, strategy, or sales or technology. Of course, there is all of this, but the most important is people, is how they react, how they change. All the training that we received so far as in school or through our experience in companies is constrained by a certain environment, by a certain attitude, and we have to transform this. To understand when we become entrepreneur, we have to understand all what is going on inside a company, what are the priorities, what is the mentality. We have to be open-minded. We have to understand the others. It's all about human. You make business with people. You don't make business with companies. You don't make business with government. It's all between people. lady she's Indian. She's entrepreneur and chair of entrepreneurship in the Indian Institute of Management. And in her institute, they create something, I don't know, I don't remember exactly the numbers, but it's something like 1,000 or 2,000 companies per year. And she knows also what she's saying when she says that to start, you have to start with who you are. This is what you just did. Who you are, what's inside you, what you know, how you can make money, the thing you know of the world, etc. And more importantly, whom you know. You are in an engineering country, you love your products, you love your expertise, so you think product. Super. But business is not about product. Business is about people. It's not even about companies. It's about people. It's people who agree to sign, to trust you, to give you money.
الان سازمان‌ها برای اینکه زنده بمونن واقعا باید نوآوری داشته باشن. یعنی فرهنگ کارآفرینی رو تو سازمان ایجاد میکنه و میاد با استارتاپ‌ها اینگیج میشه.
گاهی اوقات اگه که از سمت مشکل طرح مشکل بیایم جلو، وارونه این اتفاق بیفته، شاید گاهی اوقات بهتر بتونن پرایسش رو پرداخت بکنن استارتاپ‌ها. اونا بتونن پرایس این مسئله رو با سولوشن خودشون بدن.
I would like to tell me who is a customer of WhatsApp. It's a person who pays. Money. The customer is a person who pays. So why did you tell me that WhatsApp, the customer of WhatsApp is you? Did you pay for WhatsApp? So who is the customer of WhatsApp? Facebook. And the customer is not the user. The customer, if you have WhatsApp and if you want to have investor, the customer is the investor. The customer is actually someone, they build the company to be sold to a bigger company.
مشتری چی؟ مشتری یعنی کسی که تو قرار است بهش یه ولیویی بدی، یعنی قرار است تو زندگیش تغییر ایجاد بکنی.
The customer is the king. The customer is right. If he says no, I don't want to buy, he is right not to buy because he doesn't need it.
مشتری همون کسیه که دست میکنه تو جیبش. خیلی وقتا بچه‌ها به خاطر اینکه نمیدونن چه جوری برن مشتری انتخاب بکنن، دقیقاً بازیشون رو یه جوری اشتباهی میچینن.
The real person that gives you money is not your employer, the customer that gives money to your employer. You have to work for the customer. You have to satisfy him.
شما یه مسکن اختراع کردی، این مسکن رو میگی که خب من بهت میدم بخوری سرت خوب میشه. این اگه بخوره و درش خوب بشه، ممکنه در ازاش به شما پول بده. حالا پول ممکنه اسکناس نباشه، یه چیز دیگه جنسش فرق میکنه، مثلا زمان باشه، لایک باشه، نمیدونم ریکامند کردن باشه، هر چیز باشه، ولی بالاخره در مابعضاش یه چیزی، یه ارزشی به شما میده.
No pain, no gain. The customer, earlier we say that the customer, they have, a couple of things. All people have common thing. They have an opinion, they have problems, and they have something else. But what interests us for the moment is really the pain, what the problem. So you have to know the people and also be able to identify what their pains are.
پینی که از مشتری حل میکنم میتونه یه گپی تو بازار باشه، یه جایی که کسی کار نکرده و واقعا یه مشکلی که راهکار جایگزین وجود نداره. شما مثلا زمانی که دزدگیر خودرو میفروشین، شما دزدگیر نمیفروشین، شما دارین امنیت میفروشین.
رادیکال فکر کردن توی حل کردن درد مشتری یا نیاز مشتری شاید بزرگترین جاییه که خلاقیت میاد تو کار. اونجاست که نظرم تکنولوژی میاد تو کار. اونجاست که روش‌های جدید به کار میاد.
I don't have water anymore. That is big problem. This is not the root cause of my deception. The root cause of my deception is that my tongue is like enormous. Actually, I feel pain. It's hurting me to speak. Depending on your vision, your skills, the team that you've built, you could propose to me water in a bottle, or actually, if you're in a service, you can actually go out, grab a glass, and bring me water. Another service, another product, another solution. You could provide me with a painkiller. You could provide me with, no, we're going to shut down the doors and turn on the airco. we could have a shower. All these solutions are answering the same pain.
اگه امروز رو بخوایم راجع بهش صحبت بکنیم، بزرگترین چالش استارتاپ ها مهارت نرم توی تیمه، چون اولش هیچ چیزی نیست جز یه جسارت خاص با یه بازاری که با وسعت جلوته. یعنی مثلا یه تن نحیفی که جلوی یه کویری انگار وایساده، حالا بعد ببینه میخواد چی کار بکنه و تو اونجا برای اینکه بتونی اینو طیش بکنی، ایجاد راه انداختن یه تیم قدر، باور کردنشون. تمام این شرکت‌های بزرگ دنیایی که امروز با نوآوری تونستن ارزش خلق بکنن، دارایی‌های فیزیکی خاصی ندارن. مثل قدیم نیست که مثلا تو صنعت دستگاه داره، کارخونه داره، زمین داره، هواپیما داره. نه، بستر نرم افزار سواره. بنابراین تنها چیزی که داره از اون شرکت دارایی آدماش.
تا زیر 10 نفر خیلی حساس باش، به راحتی از 10 نرو 20، از 20 به بالا هم دوباره خیلی حساس باش و از 20 به بالا سعی کن واقعا مثل یه ساختار شرکتی بتونی یه ساختاری برای تیمت بذاری، ارتباط آدما با همدیگه تعریف بشه.
مؤسسین استارتاپ‌هایی که موفق شدن در دنیا، در هر جای دنیا، سالها، نه 1 سال 2 سال، 10 سال 20 سال 30 سال، بعضی موقع برای تمام عمرشون با هم بودن.
تحقیق که می‌کنن می‌بینن تمام شرکت‌ها وقتی بزرگ میشن، دی ان ای اون بنیانگذاره تو اینا انگار داره تولید میکنه خودشو و واسه همین تو میری تو یه شرکت، یه فرهنگ می‌بینی، یه شکل و همش بازتابی از رفتار اون بنیانگذار است. میری توی شرکت دیگه اصلا فرهنگ کاملا مجزاست.
Don't tell them you have to build a website, you have to build an application, you have to secure this connection, you have to do a marketing campaign, you have to do, I don't know, call those people and make appointments. Say, talk about the vision. What we want to achieve together is change the face of Iran. It's my first time here in Tehran in Iran, and I was really, really disappointed by the country. I was expecting a lot of, I don't know, some adventure, you know, some people in the street that really look at you strangely, aggressivity, I don't know, desert, dust, adventure. And here it is. It's just full of normal people, and then there is no such a thing as adventurous. I mean, so far here in Tehran that I've seen. So it's it's a surprise. It's in very, very good sense of the term. It's really really different, different from what the people back in France react when you tell them that, oh, I'm going to Tehran next week or in 2 days. And half of the people in France are just half are really curious, and the other one says, "Oh, really? Really? No, it's just not possible." I think that they just don't have the right sense of what's going on.
And for the last question, how could you put your emotion about Iran in one word?
A surprising country.